Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tinnitus Coach Frieda and I am back from holiday. Today I'm back with a very important video, and the video that I'm making today is about the one question that can change everything in your tinnitus journey. Welcome. This is something that is very, very dear to me because I think nobody actually tells you this. When I first got tinnitus, I kept hearing the same thing over and over and over again. There's nothing you can do about your tinnitus. But what if that is actually not true at all? So often in online forums, ENTs, we hear there's really not much we can do anymore. The one particular question that changed a lot of people's perspective on their tinnitus habituation journey. And here's the question. What if I don't have to get rid of my tinnitus in order to stop being bothered by it? And hear me out. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you what that means, why this is a complete mindset shift, and why this shift is incredibly meaningful and important in your journey going to bothersome to non-bothersome tinnitus. So here's the problem. Most people get stuck with their tinnitus for very specific reasons, right? They are caught in a loop of Googling for answers endlessly, desperately, constantly monitoring the sound, checking in of what is my tinnitus doing right now, and then always anxiety, and this loop keeps them stuck, right? They also continuously avoid silence, thinking that if only they have silence, then they will be severely bothered by their tinnitus, right? And then the next thing and the final thing is trying everything to literally get rid of the sound. Supplements, sound therapy, hearing aids. And I've recently made a video on hearing aids and when and how they can help for tinnitus. So check that one out if you haven't watched it yet. But the brain here in this loop, right, with these four things, Googling, desperately monitoring the sound, avoiding silence, and trying supplements and treatments, etc., the brain learns that tinnitus is actually equal to danger. Therefore, this reactivity loop continuously gets stronger and stronger, and you pay more and more and more attention to your tinnitus. So this question that I shared with you at the start, that what if I don't have to get rid of my tinnitus in order to get better with my tinnitus, is actually a very, very valid one. Because the shift, this one question, if I don't have to get rid of my tinnitus in order to start living my best life again and not be bothered by it, changes everything and allows you to adopt a completely different perspective towards your tinnitus. So the neuroplasticity here, the approach that a lot of people are talking about, what does this mean, neuroplasticity? How does it help my tinnitus habituation journey, right? So the brain can learn to tune out sounds in the very same way that the brain can learn to speak a new language, and it can learn this in the sense of tinnitus, that tinnitus is not dangerous and that it does not have to produce these constant loops of negative thoughts and feelings only when it no longer sees the tinnitus as something dangerous. And this is how exactly, and this is called habituation in the final stages, where the brain no longer sees tinnitus as a threat. And the brain actually constantly does that with many other sounds. So, for example, your heartbeat, right? If you listen very closely, well, my hearing is not great, but you get my drift, right? Heartbeat, breathing, breath, or fridge in the background, or some certain outside sounds that you are used to that are always in your vicinity. We absolutely naturally get used to these sounds, and the brain consciously tunes them out, because they're not relevant for us. Sorry, just had to change my notes very quickly. So the doctors actually miss a very crucial key point when they say there's nothing we can do. They're not entirely wrong. If you're only looking for a complete cure to your tinnitus of never perceiving and hearing your tinnitus anymore. But here's what they actually do not say. First of all, the cure is not in completely eliminating the sound. I've had tinnitus for 16 years now. I'm deaf on my left ear, completely deaf, nothing here. I have a hearing aid, this hearing aid, and severe tinnitus for 16 years now. And I'm not perceiving it. I'm not bothered by it. In fact, this morning I was awake for like 10 minutes and I was thinking about my clients and which clients do I have today in the one-on-one coaching. And I'm thinking about their particular problems with their tinnitus, their reactivity, the anxieties, etc. that they have before I actually realized I myself have tinnitus. So I thought about this concept of anxiety and how my coaching sessions would go today before I actually realized the fact that I also have very loud tinnitus. So there you see that it's an entirely different concept, and that when you're habituated, you experience tinnitus, but you are 0% bothered by it. So the first one is what the doctors got wrong is the cure is not in eliminating the sound. The brain needs a new relationship to the sound in order to stop reacting to it. So we don't need to go for tinnitus to go away completely in order to not react to it anymore. And this is absolutely possible, and it's happening for thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people, A, naturally, or B, through learning certain techniques such as acceptance and commitment therapy in order to speed up your habituation process. And by the way, just most of you guys will know this, but this is exactly what we have inside mytinnitus.club, our 12 weeks online tinnitus habituation program, a community where I lead weekly coaching sessions where we have a structured 12 weeks online framework for tinnitus habituation, and where I am the founder and the coach of this amazing online community where people from all over the world are part. So here's the crucial thing. If you ask the question differently, what if I don't need to get rid of my tinnitus in order not to be bothered by it anymore? Then you do not need to mask your tinnitus anymore. You do not need to monitor your tinnitus anymore constantly. You do not need to fight it constantly anymore. And you only, difficult and non-difficult, need to retrain your nervous system's response to the tinnitus that you're experiencing. And the real results and the real stuff happens when you can train your response to tinnitus through various techniques in acceptance and commitment therapy, for example, diffusion or dropping anchor, tame, or many other of them, and that you start to relate differently to the thoughts and emotions that you have towards your tinnitus in order to retrain your brain's reaction to your tinnitus, right? So, and we can prove from all the people that I've worked with, not only in one-on-one coaching, but also inside mytinnitus.club, that this is doable, and that the journey of the people in the club and the success stories that we have here on the YouTube as well, that it is shown that people can habituate to tinnitus, that they can go from bothersome to non-bothersome tinnitus, and that this shift is done and can be reproduced over and over again, no matter what pitch, what intensity, or what the sound of your tinnitus is. I know it sounds a little bit difficult to understand and believe at first, but if you watch more videos on my channel, you will start to see that this is actually the only and true way to experience tinnitus, but not to be bothered by it anymore. So if this question, the question, what if you do not need to get rid of your tinnitus in order to enjoy your life again and to get better, if that sparked a teeny tiny bit of hope inside of you, then that can be the beginning of change for you. That can be the beginning of your habituation journey. That can be the beginning of your tinnitus transformation. And if you would like to get in a little bit further of everything that we have to offer, that most of you guys know as well, that I have a free 4-day little course towards tinnitus habituation, a digital relief package where you can start and see whether this technique is something for you. So if you go to habituate.online, you will find the free course plus the possibility to purchase the digital relief project. I would love to hear your feedback. If you find these videos helpful, make sure you subscribe. Let me know in a comment of what you thought about this question. Have you ever pondered about this question? Have you ever wondered, is it possible to experience tinnitus without being bothered by it? What would stand in your way? please let me know in the comments. I've recently also in the community tab of this YouTube channel done a little round of Q&A, answering some questions. So if you would let me know what you think about this video, it's highly appreciated. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. If you wonder what the 12 weeks program looks like, go to www.mytinnitus.club. And yeah, you don't have to do this alone. Absolutely not. We are all here to support you. Our online community is amazing people from all over the world sharing the journey of tinnitus. Your brain is capable of changing. You are not broken at all. My name is Tinnitus Coach Frieder. I've worked with between 500 and 1,000 people by now. And we want you to get better and go from bothersome to non-bothersome tinnitus. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.